Hello, folks. Welcome back to Learn Synthesis with VCV Rack. I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence W. Moore, and we are starting Series 3. And in this series, this episode is going to be kind of like an overview of what I'm going through throughout this third series. And basically, it's going to start with the things from VCV Rack Premium. I just purchased it, or shall we say VCV Rack Pro. Um, in any case, I'll be explaining, a little bit about what you get with that. And over the next few episodes, we'll look at some of those components in detail. And then for the rest of the series, we'll go back to some of the other brands as they are. I focus primarily on the free to download brands so people can see all of what's out there. But we are starting off with Rack Pro, which does cost money, but I think when someone's developing good software and I use it and it's useful for me, I should, help support the cause. Developers need to make a living too. And so, it's great stuff. So, in any case, let us move onward here and start the experience. Okay, so what we're going to look at first of all here is just some of the things that you get when you purchase VCV Rack. In fact, probably first I should do this. I have the website up here. From the Rack, VCVRack.com website, right here, available now, is where you click. This is also where you download the free version. But if you're logged in at the top, like if you're logged in with your email address and password, you can scroll down and here's where you download free. You have the buy buttons here for the Pro version, and yes, it's called Rack 2 Pro. And basically there's downloads for the different operating system, and so I downloaded Linux, and it does come with an install.txt file. I'm sure the other operating system versions do as well. And it's good to follow those instructions. On Linux, I needed to make a few directories and had to do them accurately. I had a little trouble at first, and it all hinged on the fact that I didn't capitalize VCV in the path name. I used lowercase VCV, but got that sorted out. Funny thing about the letters V and C, they look the same when they're lowercase or capitalized, except for the fact they're bigger. So anyway, I went to the library page here just to show you here what's in it. Like if you select VCV and you hit premium, it'll filter out all the free things, and there's a lot of free things to get you started. And then at the top, these are the things that you get in the Pro version. Now there's a bundle at this point. It's been like this for a while and probably will be for a good amount of time, but it could change. It's a $149 US for the Pro version, which means you get VCV Rack standalone, which of course you have in the free version, but you also get the VST plugin version. Basically, you can use it as a VST plugin in your DAW, either as an instrument plugin or an FX plugin. You have both options. It's VST, VST3, and clap are the different protocols. And so I installed VST3, and I had a little bit of trouble with that, like I said before, because I got the path name incorrect with the lowercase VCV instead of uppercase. So in any case, I tested it out and it works just fine. I'm using VST as a VST3 plugin. Just ignore that notification there. But anyway, these also come, these modules, these 5 modules here also come with Rack 2 Pro, the $149 version. Concolver, and we'll briefly look at these today. At least the concolver and the reverb. Maybe we'll throw the flanger, phaser, and chorus in as well. But the next set of modules here are the drum modules. Those, if you get the bundle where it's Rack 2 Pro plus the drums and soundstage, then these will also come with it. That's the $189 version. These are the individual drum modules as separate modules, and you also get the drum machine, where basically it's almost exactly the same modules, except they're all in one overall module and mixed such that you have a stereo out here. And you do have volume and pan controls of the different parts of the kit. Now, the rest of the things here are not included in either Rack 2 Pro or the bundle, except for soundstage here is part of that bundle for $189. So this is a reverberation modeling type software, and we'll be looking over that in the upcoming episode. So basically, all the things in this bundle, which are the only things that I got, was the soundstage, the drum, and Rack 2 Pro. We'll be looking over at these probably over the next 3 episodes so people can see in more detail what they get and so forth. And then, yeah, so I'm going to close those. And just for today, as a bit of a little bit of warm up, I was just hooking some things up and trying a few things out. One of the things I was excited about was the drum machine and basically having, you know, it be a mixer also. We zoom in here. Basically, you have a kick, a snare, tom 1, tom 2. You have a rim shot, which is your snare drum, but the rim, a clap. What does that say? C-hat, closed hi-hat, and O-hat for open hi-hat. And then the crash and the ride cymbals. So you basically get a full drum kit. No little tambourine or anything, but you know, you can kind of make one of those. We have had an episode where I talked about making like kick and snare sounds and some cymbal sounds, kind of like the old-fashioned way, but we're going to play this here. Let me zoom out, get it framed in there. You're hearing a little bit of reverb on it right now. I added the reverb just to try it out. Let's turn the mix knob down. There we go. All right, so there you go. I think that's ride, right? Yeah. Crash, open hi-hat, closed hi-hat, clap. I guess that's your rim shot. And then tom 2, tom 1, snare, and so forth. Now, all these things can be tailored because each one has its own controls. Tone, you know, tuning controls for like the kick and the tom. And well, just looks like just about everything has tune. Well, here it's tone for the clap. So, you know, we're going to look at this and its individual modules in detail, probably in the next episode. But just as a quick overview, so that's your tuning, and you have other things that you can alter, the attack and the decay. And each drum has its own volume and pan. Volume, pan. They may not be located in exactly the same spot on each one. Yeah, that's strange here. Yeah, volume down there. But each one does have its own volume and pan and trigger to test it out. So yeah, that's cool. We will also look at these in more detail than I'm doing today. We'll look at each of the effects, the chorus, the flanger, the phaser, and then there is also the reverb, which we will hear now. Let me just do a snare hit. There's the mix knob for that. As you see, all these things are stereo, so you could go stereo out into here, stereo out into the audio, but I also am going through this mixer here because basically I have signal coming out into the reverb and signal coming out into concolver. The reverb is here. That's the one that's turned up, so we're hearing the drum through the reverb. This is the Bafaco 4-channel mixer, by the way. It's just convenient because it's a 4-channel stereo mixer. So anyway, and turn down that mix a little bit here. Or not. My mouse has been misbehaving, shall we say. Now let me turn this down and turn up concolver so you can kind of hear it. I'm hitting the kick drum right now, but what happens is the audio input triggers something that you've recorded here. And so it's basically like you can decide what you want to record here. Like, for example, I'll do this. I'm going to turn up that. How about that? We'll record that into concolver. And what I'm going to do is basically hit this and record at the same time. You can also trigger this record button, so to speak, with an input, like maybe have a key from your keyboard, trigger this or something, or a controller. So anyway, I'm going to hit this and go like that. And so I recorded that in. Now let's turn our concolver back up and turn down the reverb. I'm actually hitting the key for kick, and it's not okay. I wasn't before, now I am. So it kind of convolves the two sounds, the kick and whatever I recorded in before. I think it was the rim shot, though it didn't really sound very rimmy, it sounded like a bamboo log. And now here's the snare coming through that. If I just hit it once, you hear the rhythm of what you hit. But if you hit multiple times in a row, the rhythm that you do can kind of overlap on itself. Of course, it can distort. Got to be careful about it. Now I'm hitting one of the cymbals. Some pretty cool stuff. So we're going to look at that in more detail as we go on. But just to point out, yeah, what are the other three things? And let's see, here we are down here. I did organize my modules by brand. Finally, by, selecting it up here, sort by brand. Here we go. So we need these three. They look similar to the mixer. They're not. Yeah, see, my mouse is misbehaving. I'm kind of trying to click and drag you over. Make space for the third one. And there we go. So, considering the fact that all these drum modules also come as separate modules so that you don't have to use the full drum machine. Basically what's on screen, the drum modules and their individual modules. These three modules here, these are flanger and chorus, concolver and reverb. That's all in Rack 2 Pro. Without the with the drums come with the bundle though. Yeah. And then there's also the sound stage. Now this I'm also going to do in an upcoming episode. I don't want to fool with this today because this looks like I need to look at it a bit more, and I don't want to, just jump into it without looking at it in enough detail to give it any justice. So that's why all these will be separate episodes. I'll probably combine 2 or 3 of them in each episode, so only the next 3 episodes are on these topics. So what I'm going to do, let's disconnect this. Our concolver is up right now, but we're going to disconnect it. And yeah, we're going to hear our drums going through a chorus. Well, that'll be interesting. It's mostly for pitched things. Think about it. But some of these drums are semi-pitched. Oh, I don't need the mixer anymore, so let's get rid of it. And just use these effects. So anyone that just wanted a quick overview of what you get, you're getting everything except the sound stage as far as a description today. For more detailed explanation of these, the upcoming maybe 3 episodes, we'll have it. So let's see here. Kick. Alrighty, so we're going in here. Looks like, yeah, it has a bit of a delay on it. Oh, this is to control how much a CV input would affect it. So let me see here. Yeah, you can definitely hear a thickening up. This does thicken things up. So even percussion. Ooh, wow. Stereo depth there. I could hear that spread out to the sides. If you're not listening to it on headphones, you may not hear it much, but on headphones, you can definitely hear this spread out to the side more. And that is great. Yeah, all right. So let me do this. Let's switch on over to next one here. So that was more than just a chorus. And I'll be trying these out with pitched instruments next time. So let's see here. This flanger also has a delay on it. That's a cool effect. That's something that you can, all these parameters you can control with CV, either through MIDI or as response to other things happening. This might be also why you would want to use, for some cases, individual drum modules and then mix it later. Especially that you can do VST instruments now, because you can have one instrument track in your DAW. It's the kick, and basically it'll have the effect right on it. Trying to move this. I could technically go into at least 4 of these effects, and then I still have that mixer here, mix the combination of them. So, that would be some cool stuff. Don't zoom in that much. There we go. And here we go. Let's move these over here. And so this is the phaser. Yeah, so these are pretty cool effects. Of course, since with Rack 2 Pro, you load it as a VST instrument into your DAW, you can basically integrate it with effects there and everything. For example, let me just do that briefly here. I'm not going to do much. I'm going to keep this video short, just as like a survey of what comes with Rack 2 Pro, as well as the Rack 2 Pro bundle with the drums and other stuff. So here we are in Bitwig. Because I switched to Linux several months ago, Bitwig has fast become kind of like my standard DAW. I do also have Ableton Live here running through Wine, because I had purchased it a couple years ago. Yeah, mostly it works, but some of the packs don't, and I knew that probably VST support wouldn't necessarily be great. But I have it there for teaching, and I am probably going to do the series on Ableton. I haven't received any comments about it, requests or anything during the times I've asked, but it is a popular DAW, and it does have some good sounds and instruments in it. Especially, it can be nearly endless with the Suite version. Just now, it can only work for me in a limited way. So that I keep it there mostly to be able to teach it. And then Bitwig, which is technically less popular, fewer people use it. I mean, I really like it, but fewer people use it, so I keep the other around for teaching. Of course, I'm not thinking here as I'm trying to find the test project that there we go, saved earlier. So all I did was just take the standard 2-track default template, and then here we can open up the screen and there's VCV Rack. Yeah, I did something maybe I shouldn't have done with the convolver. And so you can load it in. As much as your memory and CPU support on multiple tracks, you have everything together, but I would probably use it where I'd use a normal MIDI in and go to a kick and have the normal MIDI in have its tone control based on the key that I press, have that on a separate track, snare on a separate track, and so forth, so that I could get more precise in the mixing and precision effects on each individual track. Of course, it depends on what I'm doing, you know. If I want the whole kit to sound like, you know, consistent with the same effect, that would be different. But I was just kind of showing you here. It's just the MIDI gates going to each trigger for each of the drum kits. You can call up things that you've done in the standalone version and bring them in. That's what I did here, basically. If you want, you can make it full screen and zoom in. All the controls of VCV Rack still work. One thing you would want to do if you made the instrument outside of your DAW is on any of the MIDI stuff, you just click on DAW to make sure it's receiving from the track that this plugin is on. And for the audio out, you would also then go to DAW so you can hear it out of the instrument track that you have it on. But as you see, there were some more options there. I'm going to zoom in with my operating system so you may see a second mouse. Please ignore the little mouse. But I only have a 2-channel interface on this computer, 2 in, 2 out. But you see, it's set up like 16 and basically like aux channels. They're listed as 8 here because they're technically stereo, but you have your 8 stereo auxes out that you can then go to other things in your DAW and so forth. And basically, like here, if I go to my audio track and look at its inputs, once a plugin is added, it's there as an option. So I could receive from VCV Rack here from its output and basically record it into the audio track here. I mean, that's what, you know, the big advantages. And plus I could integrate this with Bitwig sounds now and Bitwig effects. And so that's the power of it. Now, if you have the free version, you can use like a MIDI loopback of some sort and virtual MIDI ports to connect the standalone VCV Rack to your DAW's MIDI output. And then if you have some sort of virtual audio connections, you can record it back in. But this is definitely much more convenient. And so it's one of the main reasons why I purchased it, other than, you know, also to support the cause. Didn't need extra expenditures right now, but you know, it's definitely a great piece of software to support. And I'm going to see if I can get my screenshot here. So over the next few episodes, we'll look at drums, then the effects in more detail, and that sound stage, so that you can kind of see, whoa, I didn't mean that. it, you can kind of see more details about these things. So that way, you know plenty well ahead of time if you are interested in buying the software. So there we go. We got a screenshot. So thank you for joining me. If you found this informative, please hit the like button. Haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Just all the stuff that every other YouTuber says. Share on the social media. Anything you can do to help this channel grow, I greatly appreciate it. Till next time, take care and stay free.